Hi, my name is Dr. Linda Mattioli. I'm the owner and CEO of the Origins Incubator Program, where we help MDs, DOs, and NDs create and launch their unique cash-based membership practice in a very authentic and heart-centered way. So today we're going to be talking about the sales process of the membership, actually just a portion of it, because the way that we view sales in the incubator and how we teach it is that it's actually a process of helping this prospective patient make a decision that's best for them. And the way that we help you do this is in one of the ways that we're going to speak about today is about the pre-education process that we lead patients through before they decide to join the membership. So let me explain why this is so important. Many of us, when we hang a shingle and we decide to launch our own practice, we are typically wearing many hats. We're wearing the physician hat, we're wearing the assistant hat, the administrator hat, all of these things. And sometimes when we jump between these roles, with our patients as we're educating them about the flow and the processes of your unique process, it can be confusing. It can be, you know, a bit confusing for the patient as they're moving through this process with you. And so we want to create a very clean journey for the patient. So what I mean by that is that there's a few things that we can do to help pre-educate them so that when they decide to take the next step, whether it's when they decide to move from calling the office to scheduling a discovery call and then moving from the discovery call to the foundational assessment and then moving from the foundational assessment to the membership, that each step is just the next logical step for them. And so there's a few things that we recommend doing. Number one is that when a patient either calls the office or emails you and is just wants to know more about the practice, like how does your practice work? Then we email them what we call a practice information email. Within that email, we start this pre-education process. So we have a video where we discuss what the foundational assessment is, and this another word for this is kind of an initial consultation. So you're discussing what to expect in this foundational assessment, what they will learn, how they'll move through the appointment, what they'll walk away with, these kinds of things. We'll also introduce the concept of the membership and why a membership model works. So before they even sign up for the discovery call, or actually when they register for the discovery call, they're going to receive that email. So before they even talk to you in a clinician patient kind of manner, which is going to be in the discovery call, they've already learned, okay, so the next step would be this initial consultation or foundational assessment, followed by the membership. So they already have that pre-education in place. We also share pricing at that time. Now, there's some pros and cons to this, but we feel that transparency is the best way to go about discussing anything with prospective patients. So when you are in the discovery call with the patient, now you're purely physician mode. You're talking about, how would you approach their unique case, what kinds of things you do in your practice, how you would support them, these kinds of things. And then how I typically end discovery calls is I would say something like, does all of this resonate with you? Does this make sense for you? Is this something you'd like to move forward with? And if they say yes, then I just say the next step is a one-time appointment and it's the foundational assessment. So I'm just directing them to the next thing. So when they call the office asking for information, or when they set up the discovery call, then they get that patient information email where they get information about the foundational assessment and the membership, as well as pricing, and then they're invited to sign up for the discovery call, right? So that's kind of the step one. Then you do the discovery call. Then you're inviting them, you're just focusing on them on the very next step, which is the foundational assessment. So before the foundational assessment, or when they arrive to the office, so when you have a brick and mortar, we handed people what we called a welcome folder or welcome packet. If you're doing virtual, it can be emailed to them like the day before, something like that. But again, this is that next pre-education step where you're pulling back the curtain a bit more. So now they have agreed to the foundational assessment appointment, and you're kind of showing them a bit more about what you're offering in your practice. So if you have independent contractors, you'd introduce them at that time in this packet and a little bit about them and how they would support them. If you have an education series, you would discuss that then. Just more things about your membership program. So some things are the community partners, education series, just what is your membership and what does it typically look like? Maybe some common tests or workups that you might do that might be unique to you. So how are you supporting them? How are you supporting the patient through the membership? How are you educating them? What skills might they be learning within your membership program? And basically, and then in addition to kind of those nuts and bolts, like how many appointments with you, how many appointments with your independent contractor. So all of this is included in that welcome packet. What I found is that patients will sit there and they'll kind of leaf through it while they're waiting for me to enter the room. And so again, they're kind of like they're getting that pre-education piece, that administrative portion of it that they can just kind of sift through on their own. So they have this nice idea of your offering before the foundational assessment even starts. Some people that I work with have chosen, they may not have implemented this, they may not understand the value of it. And what I hear is that what that does, if you don't pre-educate your patients, then at the end of the foundational assessment, you're stuck in this place of, as a physician, you're discussing their plan, right? You're like, this is what I've learned about you. This is the kind of workup I recommend. This is the kind of treatment I recommend. You know, that the typical physician plan. But then now you also have this, you know, you also have this opportunity where you need to then describe the membership. So now you're putting on the administrative hat, like this is what the membership is, and you're trying to show them the value of the membership. And you're toggling between these two worlds of physician and administrator. And I find that to be very difficult for a lot of us. So that's why I recommend kind of, pre-educating the patient, like get that part out of the way before you even enter the room. And this can easily be implemented, even if you don't have an assistant. You just have to put it together ahead of time and make sure the patient has it before your appointment, before your foundational assessment or initial consultation. So then at the end of the foundational assessment, as a physician, that's the lane you're in. You're just really talking about their health and their healing journey and how you're going to support them through that. And then their next step then is really then to decide if the membership is for them or not. And I think that that's this way of pre-educating patients before the discovery call and before the foundational assessment, I have found to be really, really helpful in not only kind of weeding out people who it's just not for them, but then also allowing you to kind of stand in the role of physician, healer, clinician, and be able to support the patient in that manner so they can really see the value of what you're offering without being kind of bogged down by these like logistical nuts and bolts questions that can sometimes distract them during the appointment. So I hope that was helpful and we'll see you next time. Good luck everyone and thank you for all you do.